Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my 40-week pregnancy vlog. So this is going to be my last pregnancy vlog ever. Definitely from this pregnancy, but I want to say ever just because Jonathan and I have decided that after this baby, our family is complete and we don't want any more children. I get so many questions about this and just like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like whenever I say that, people just don't want to accept it or they question it. And I think that's so bizarre because I know so many people that have made the decision to stop at 2 or even 1. I think 1 doesn't, like 1 probably gets a bit more judgment or controversy, which is in itself unfair. Some people just want to have 1. 2 gets like, people just understand 2 and even 3. So I don't know why anybody wouldn't understand wanting to stop at 4, but for some reason, not in real life but like online, whenever I say that, whenever I make that statement, people are like, oh, you shouldn't say that, like you don't know what's in store. And I'm like, but there's such thing as family planning. Like, I mean, it's not rocket science. If you want to stop having kids, you can stop having kids. It's kind of bittersweet. Like I think I expected to feel more sad. I think in the beginning of this pregnancy, definitely I was kind of not questioning things. I never questioned whether I wanted this to be the last baby or not. I always knew it was, but I questioned, you know, how I was gonna feel and whether I was gonna feel okay with it. And in the beginning, I definitely was a bit more like, oh, I don't know if I'm okay with this, you know, it's so sad, it's so bittersweet. But now I'm kind of more, I think because I've had the whole pregnancy, I'm right at the end now and I'm so ready for it to be finished and to just be done with being pregnant. I'm in a completely different frame of mind. I've enjoyed my time. I've enjoyed everything. Of course, a part of me is kind of sad to say goodbye to this chapter of my life, but another part of me is just so ready and so done. And I think that's just a natural thing. Like you just get to that stage in pregnancy where you can't anymore. And I'm pretty much just happy to move on and open another chapter of my life. And I don't know, every time I look at my kids, I feel like there's somebody like, how I would describe it is that I look at my kids right now and I know there's something missing. Like I just know with 3, and I always knew with 3, that there was just something was off balance. There was somebody or something missing. There was a gap, and I knew that that gap had to be filled. And I know that that gap is this baby. But I feel like when he's out and when he's here, I just feel like it won't feel like that anymore. Does that make sense? Like it will just feel so complete. So I hope I don't get any more questions about it. I hope I don't get any more controversy about it. I don't know why it's controversial saying that we're done, but somehow on the internet it is. That was a big long rant. That was not expected. But I'm gonna get into symptoms for this week. The first new symptom that happened this week was spots or breakout. Now, I don't typically break out anymore since I changed my skincare routine about 2 years ago. And that was when I was put on like a very strong acne system or like skincare routine. And my skin really doesn't break out ever since I switched to that routine and ever since I visited a dermatologist. So I've been pretty lucky, like touch wood, considering how bad my skin was before. I did have a little bit of breakout in the beginning, in the first trimester. Nothing major, and neither was this. This has actually cleared up, I think, unless I feel like I'm getting one here or something. But I had a spot, I think it was here, and I got a tiny little one on my nose, like the same size. They were really small. They didn't bother me that much, but it was just something I noticed because I don't tend to get spots anymore. So that was interesting because I did have a breakout at the beginning of the pregnancy, and I feel like this was like at the end, or hopefully the end. I've been having what I would think I would describe as Braxton Hicks contractions, but I've never ever been sure. Like, I feel like I do get pains and I do get tightenings, but they're never regular. They're never anything that stays around. They're very just sporadic and like all over the place. So I've never even really known if it is Braxton Hicks. The one thing that is always the same though is that when I do feel this pain, there's a lot of movement. So that's why I'm just not sure. I think I said this in last week's video as well, whether they are Braxton Hicks or not, because it could just be that the baby's moving a lot and that's causing me to have pain, because again, just like I think I mentioned in previous pregnancy vlogs, he is still back to back, and my doctor said that that would cause back pain in itself. So every time I lay flat on my back, which I never do, but say if I have to, like if I'm in the doctor's office and I'm getting an ultrasound and I have to lay on my back, it is so uncomfortable. Like, it's actually at the point where I'm almost like in agony. I can't physically do it. Getting things like getting out of bed, getting in and out of cars, like that kind of thing is just not comfortable. And I do get a lot of back pain, a lot of lower back pain, especially in the evenings when I'm tired. And that has, I think, got a lot to do with the fact that the baby is still back to back. He has not turned yet. My doctor said there's really nothing I can do about it. There's not any specific exercises that I can even do. I just have to wait until delivery and just wait and see if he does turn himself around. And obviously it would be better if he did, but we'll see what happens. Him being back to back also could potentially mean that I'm less likely to go into labor by myself. Again, we don't know that for sure, but he definitely has not dropped into the pelvis yet, even though lots of people keep saying that they think he's dropped, but he hasn't. His head is still up pretty high. He's head down, so he's not breech, which is good, but he's facing the wrong way. So I kind of feel like that's how I felt physically anyway. So I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. That's how I know all this information. And my doctor had been on holiday. He's actually on holiday again this weekend. So I'm like, oh, please don't go into labor then. But I don't think, I mean, obviously anything could happen, but touch wood, I don't think it's gonna happen this weekend. Just judging by my appointment and what the doctor said and how high the baby still is, and also how happy he seems. Like, he just does not seem like he wants to come out anytime soon. And that has been the same exact thing for every single one of my other pregnancies. So I think either my body just really likes being pregnant, or my babies just don't want to come out. The one baby that stayed in there the least amount of time was Alessia. She was only 40 plus 3, and I was induced because she was measuring small, and that was like, not that there was complications in that pregnancy because it was still low risk, but I had to go back for tests and like, not tests, but like ultrasounds and more scans and extra scans because of the fact that she kept measuring really small. So that was why she was induced a little bit. It wasn't early because I was still overdue, but a little bit earlier. With Eduardo, I went to 10 days over. That was the most. And then with Amelia, I was 8 days over. So with this one, we did make a plan for an induction if I don't go into labor naturally myself. I still have time, so I'm still kind of waiting it out and seeing what happens, but I do know at least that there's an end in sight, and that just makes me feel so much better because, as you know, if you have ever been pregnant and overdue, it is the longest wait ever. Every day at the end of pregnancy feels like years. And it's so crazy because this whole pregnancy seems to have flown by. Like, it seems to have gone so quick. It was definitely the quickest pregnancy ever, probably because it's number 4 and there's just so much going on with the other 3. But this past week or so has just seemed like it is the longest week of my life. Just logistically, with that many kids, dogs, work commitments, just everything that's going on in my life right now, it is so much easier to have like a scheduled plan. It's not like the first baby, you know, it's the fourth, so he's kind of having to slot into our schedules rather than the other way around, because I think when you have your first baby it's a little bit different and you more so just like you fit into their schedule, whereas this time it's very, very different, and he just has no choice but to have to fit into everybody else's. So in that respect it's nice to have a plan. I again do not want to have drama in my comment section, so please don't leave me your comments about anti-induction or any of that, because I've been induced 3 other times, and I have no problem being induced this time either if it comes to that. And I think it's every woman's personal choice and every mother's personal choice, whether they get induced, have C-sections, natural births, home births, hospital births, whatever you want is your choice. So please do not bombard me with your opinions about induction or why you think they're terrible, because I'm still gonna do, my choice is my choice at the end of the day, and it's not gonna change my mind, so there's absolutely no point. But also it's just not nice. Yeah, I just would rather not have the drama. But generally speaking, to be completely honest with you guys, the comments on my videos are amazing. Like, you guys have been phenomenal, and I can't stress enough how much you've helped me through this pregnancy. Just with everything, like the support that I've had on my channel has been incredible. I try and read all of the comments and I try and respond to as many as possible, and it's just been amazing, and I'm so happy that you guys have followed me on this journey. Lightning crotch has still been crazy this week. That hasn't changed from last week, but sometimes I feel like I literally can't walk or that I'm gonna collapse. Then I go to my doctor's and he's like, yeah, he's nowhere near the pelvis and he hasn't dropped yet. So I don't know why lightning crotch occurs, but when it does, it just feels like the baby's just gonna fall out or something's about to come out and you have no control over it. So the pelvic pain has kind of gone away for the most part. The only thing that's been happening is it just feels like there's like a rubber band being pulled like at my pelvis and between my legs kind of, and sometimes I get this weird pain. It's like that rubber band feeling or sensation, and then it comes with this weird pain in my leg, but it's like my inner thigh. I don't really know how to explain it without sounding odd, because it is odd, but it's a really strange feeling because it's the only time that pregnancy pains or like pregnancy symptoms have affected me in that body part, or like in that area of my body. It's like my inner thigh leg area, and it just feels like a rubber band is being snapped, but it comes from the pelvis, if that makes sense. It's really bizarre. Again, he hasn't dropped, so I don't even know why I'm experiencing that kind of pain, but it has been happening this week. My sleeping, so I have been waking up consistently every single night, at least once a night, sometimes twice, but normally about once a night, to go to the bathroom. And that is so frustrating because then sometimes I can't get back to sleep. More often than not I can, but it's just uncomfortable because it's hard to get to sleep in the first place, or like to get comfortable anyway. So I hate the fact that I have to wake up and pee every single night without fail. I wish I could just do like a full night's sleep and not be disturbed, because all 3 of my kids sleep through the night. So there's absolutely no reason for me, you know, other than pregnancy, for me to not get a full night's sleep, but it just never ever happens. So today, for example, I think I am actually gonna take a little bit of a nap when Alessia goes down, because I just feel exhausted. Last night I actually woke up twice to go to the bathroom, and one of those times that I woke up, I had really bad heartburn, which I'll get into in a second, but I had really bad heartburn to the point where I thought I was gonna be sick, and I felt like I had to keep like belching. It sounds disgusting, but that's what I felt like. I felt like I had lots of acid and it was just incredibly uncomfortable. But that was self-inflicted, and it was my own fault, because yesterday I indulged, well, basically yesterday we went to the doctor and he told me that he hadn't dropped, and he told me that he wasn't going to do a sweep because we had asked about a sweep. He said there was no point because the baby's head wasn't even close to being in the pelvis, so it probably wouldn't do anything anyway. So I didn't get a sweep. I didn't get any, not like I got bad news, because I didn't get bad news, but I think when you're just that late in pregnancy, you want to be done. And I was feeling a little bit deflated afterwards. And my one craving this whole pregnancy has been donuts. And it hasn't been like really bad every single day, but it's the only one that kind of recurs. I never ever ever follow through with my pregnancy craving, because this pregnancy I actually had eaten really healthy, or I had tried to, for the most part, not for the whole pregnancy, like definitely not for the whole pregnancy, but certainly in the last trimester, I've been really, really good about eating healthy and exercising. But yesterday, because I was feeling so deflated, I was like, I am gonna cash in on this pregnancy craving, and I'm gonna get myself, all I wanted was a 12 pack, not like all for myself in one go, but you know, just I wanted that 12 pack of Krispy Kreme donuts, and they had to be Krispy Kreme. We could not find them. Eventually we found them in our local supermarket, which was amazing. I ate 2 in the car on the way home. Granted, they were the original like glazed ring donuts, they weren't filled, but still. And then I ate one more when we got home, which was a filled one. It was the Bisque one. That's my favorite. I am obsessed with that one. That's like the best, hands down. And there was only one left, so I got the last one. I felt so sick afterwards. And then as payback, I got this terrible heartburn, but I didn't even mind, to be honest, because it was the one time that I indulged in this craving. And there's still a ton of donuts left downstairs, but thankfully we have a big family, so there's plenty of people to go around to eat them all. And I don't even think I'm gonna have another. I think I'm done. Like I got it out of my system and I don't care about them anymore, but I just really needed them yesterday. I ended up having a bit of a moment, which is not uncommon in this late in pregnancy. I think the hormones are just everywhere. But I couldn't help but get emotional about Alessia. And I don't want to get emotional again right now, but I just feel like this happens with every single child, every single pregnancy. You feel and experience mom guilt for that last child, like the one that's not going to be the baby anymore. I really don't want to cry in this video, but it's going to happen probably. I remember it with Amelia. It made me so sad that she was not going to be my only one anymore, and she was 18 months old. And then with Eduardo, I remember it too, like so clearly. Like he was my baby for so long, like for almost 3 years he was the baby, and then just knowing that he wasn't going to be that baby anymore. And it's almost like this really not selfish, but it's this weird thing where you love your children that are already existing more than the one that's coming. It sounds awful, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but before that baby comes out, of course you do love it because you're connected to it, because you're its mother, and I've been keeping it alive for the past almost 10 months. But you love the children that are outside of you and that are already existing more. I don't know how you could deny that, because that is the reality of it. I think it's just a natural thing of like feeling like they're gonna be not replaced, but you know that you need to give your everything to this baby that's coming into the world, and you're scared because you don't want it to take away from the other ones. And you also don't want them to feel like they're being replaced. It's just a weird feeling. It's so highly emotional, I can't even describe. I cannot stand crying on camera. I know it probably doesn't seem that way because I've been doing it quite a lot lately, but I actually just hate it. So I will show you guys the belly now for 40 weeks pregnant with baby number 4. Amelia has joined me just now, but I'm gonna show you guys the belly. This is what it looks like from the front, from the side. I used to do this with you in my belly, Amelia. And from the other side, yeah. And from the front again. Don't mind this line, it's just from my bump band. You okay?
Why do those do like that?
It's just to protect the belly, support the belly. That is it for the pregnancy vlogs. There will not be a pregnancy vlog next week. Even if I do go to 41 weeks, there won't be, because I'm gonna take a week off. I think a week, I don't know, maybe a little bit more. But I've definitely scheduled for myself to take a week off, and I will be back afterwards with postpartum updates, so don't worry, I'm not going anywhere for good. Thank you so much for following me on this journey and for following this pregnancy and experiencing it with me. To everybody that has left nice, supportive, loving comments, thank you so much. I feel like I've read every one of them, and I try and respond to as many as possible. Obviously I can't respond to all of them, but I do try to respond. And you know, just this journey has just been so amazing, and it's been amazing to have experienced this 4 times as well. I will be on social media if you want to follow me on there and get updated. I'll be on Insta stories, mostly Twitter, Facebook, if you want to find me on there to get updated of when I do actually go into labor. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you again for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.